Friends and viewers, good day. The Blue Hotel by Stephen Crane. It is a wonderful short story. The short story start like this. A train was passing through the Fort Rampur, Nebraska, a small settlement on the edge of the lawless American West. The view through the train window is the palace of hotel whose blue paint contrasts sparkly with the lifeless green and brown landscape. Pat Scully, the hotel proprietor, waits in the cold to persuade a few unclaimed passengers to stay at his establishment for the evening. After brief introduction, the cowboy, the Swede, and the Easterner follow Scully back to the hotel. Inside the hotel, Scully urges his son Joanna, who is playing card with the old farmer, to bring the guest suitcase upstairs. The man engaged in a small talk over dinner, during which each seems to be sizing the other up. The Swede is quiet and hesitant, while the cowboy and the Easterner seems agreeable. If a bit wary at dinner, the Swede makes a mocking, seemingly jovial comment about the dangers of the traveling in the West, which the others don't know how to interpret. After dinner, Scully announces a blizzard. Joanna, who drove away the old farmer with his hot headedness, asked the cowboy, the Swede, and the Easterner to join him in a game of cards. They agree, though the Swede is reluctant. The man play an intense game, which the Swede interrupts by suggesting that someone has been murdered in the front room of the hotel. Joanna immediately becomes defensive, and the Swede tells the other man that he believes he will die in the hotel that night. The other man thinks the Swede is insane, and the conflict is only interrupted when Scully comes into the room and demands to know what's going on. The Swede becomes overwhelmed and fearful and insists on leaving. He goes upstairs to pack his bags. Scully meets the Swede upstairs. The Swede is immediately suspicious of Scully, who tries to have a conversation with him about his other children by showing him the photos in the spare room. The two have a drink together, and the Swede suspect that Scully is trying to poison him. Meanwhile, the cowboy, Joanna, and the Easterners are downstairs, speculating on the Swede character. The cowboy reveals that he believes the Swede is actually a Dutchman based on his accent. And while the Easterner suggests that simple fear is the cause of Swede's perplexing behavior, the Easterner suspect that dime novels the Swede read about the West have made him believe he is in horrible danger. Scully and Swede return downstairs, and the Swede decide to stay in the hotel. After all, Scully admits to the man when the Swede leaves the room that the Swede is acting strangely, but he believes that Swede is okay now. The man continue the card game, which again become heated. In the midst of the game, the Swede suddenly accuses Joanna of uh, cheating. Joanna finally loses his temper with the Swede, and brawls start over the card table. The conflict escalates, leading the man to a more violent fight outside in the blizzard. Joanna and the Swede square off with the Easterner as a fearful and skeptical bystander, and Scully and the cowboy urging Joanna on. The Swede wins the fight and makes an arrogant, haughty exit from the hotel with his suitcase. Meanwhile, a crowd of women consisting of the hotel staff and the hotel proprietor rush to Joanna's aid. Joanna's mother shames Cooley for allowing his son to get so badly hurt. The other guests, Cooley and Joanna, are relieved that Swade has left. Swade makes his way through the town, catching sight of the train in the distance as he walks down the saloon. Inside, he orders a drink from the barkeep and demands the attention of the other patrons of the saloon, which includes the notorious gambler. When men refuse to drink with Swede, the men get into a fight during the brawl. The gambler pulls out a knife and stabs the Swede, who dies on the floor at the bar. Off the bar. The story ends sometimes later when the Easterner and the cowboy meet after the sweet murder trial. The Easterner reveals that Gambler was given a light sentence for the murder and trial. The Easterner reveals that Gambler was giving a light sentence for the murder, and the cowboy blames the Sweat for his aggressive behavior, suggesting it lead to his early death. The Easterner disagrees and tells the cowboy that Joanna did in fact cheat at cards, but that he was too afraid to say anything at the time. The Easterner then says that all the men are equally guilty for the death of the Swede. Not only the gambler who struck him with the knife, but all of the others also. So, this is the short story written by Stephen Crane, The Blue Hotel, and as about Stephen Crane, he was born in Newark, New Jersey in 1871, and the same way he died in Germany sanatorium in 1900 at only 28-year old. So let me tell you about the setting of this novel. The title of this novel, as all of you know, is The Blue Hotel, written in 1898, were written in Sussex, UK, when published in 1898. So, literary period of that time was naturalism and realism. Genre, this is a short story, realistic fiction. Setting of this short story was a Romper, Nebraska around 1900. Climax of this short story starts the gambler stabs and kills the Swede in the town saloon.